How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Forever Arsenal podcast. Another Forever Arsenal podcast off the back of another big away win. Another 3 points for Arsenal. It's all smiles. 3 points in the title race, and one of the ops have dropped points as well, which we might touch in on if we get some time. Big up James, Lee, Jordan, the regulars in the building. Make sure you hit the like button, people. First and foremost, let's get up to 1,000 likes nice and early, and show some love. Not only to the channel, obviously make sure you subscribe, put the notification bell on, but everyone's individual channels too. Big up James doing big things on his channel. Go over and subscribe. I'm going to put the link in the description below, so make sure you do that. Lee Judges TV, same thing over there. Make sure you do that. Look, the big man himself, he's got his own channel. Jordan, his podcast, he told
not
people
for clicks.
a few weeks ago, not for clicks.
Check it out.
He jumped in there before I could butcher it, but yeah, I knew I got it written down there, mate. But we'll put that in the description below as well. People, show some love to the individual channels, and yeah, this video right here, hit the like button. All smiles, like I said. Oh shit, Jordan, what's that? A brew? I should have made one just before we hit record as well. Nah,
rookie mistake.
I had the same thought.
We can talk and you can go for 2 minutes. It's cool.
I saw you having a sip and I thought, yeah, I could go for a hot Ribena.
You can go. Have a point.
Hot Ribena. For fuck's sake.
Have a point 12.
Go.
This guy.
Hot Ribena.
It's just Christmas or something, bro. This guy done.
Hot Ribena with some twiglets.
Hot Ribena with twiglets.
Maybe not at the same time, but
He's
smiling because he understands.
You're going mad. Lee, you're back. You made it back. What? You stayed over the night, right, man?
Yeah. I stayed over in Manchester. Unfortunately, I went and visited Kevin Campbell. Unfortunately, I didn't visit him at the pub or a restaurant or whether I've had to go and visit him in hospital. So he's not been very well for the last few weeks. Been in intensive care and he's been in a real bad way, but he's on the mend now. And I just feel like we need to give him a bit of love and everything, like in the chat and everything like that, because he actually said to me today, like, I want to thank you guys, all the AFTV guys and everybody like that, for getting him through this last few weeks, because obviously being in hospital, there isn't no TV and all that. Like, all he's got is his phone and the internet and watching all what AFTV does and all the podcasts, our one, of course, and watching the trips to Ghana and everything like that. So he's a big AFTV fan, big fan of all podcasts. He supports all different podcasts around, whether it be Arsenal, Everton, Nottingham Forest. He does them all. And he's just an all-round great guy. And he's we nearly lost him over the last few weeks, but he's on the way back now. So I just want to say, like, get well soon, Kev, and show him some love in the comments. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, man. Big up Kevin Campbell, man. One of the most humble people I've met. Yeah, full stop, let alone someone in the public eye or someone that used to play for Arsenal. Very, very, very nice man. So thoughts are with Mr. Campbell, Kevin himself.
100%. And can I say what you just said there, Lee? Like, forget just watching the podcast and the content. He embraces it.
Yeah.
And not all former players, in fact, very few have. And certainly I can't think of any as much as Kevin Campbell. So best wishes and echo everything you guys are saying.
Yeah, man. 100%, man. Get well soon, Kev. And yeah, big up everyone. Like Lee said, make sure you show Kev some love in the comments as well. He's watching people, so I'm sure he'll enjoy going through the comments to read some of the love. But yeah, let's move. We've got 3 points to talk about as well. Another 3 points away from home. Another emphatic win. Another clean sheet. Might as well stick with you, Lee. Yeah, you was the one there. I was at West Ham. How did this one feel off the back of that West Ham one? Because the West Ham one felt good.
Oh, I've got to say, like, it's been an absolute pleasure going into the away end at the moment. It's just brilliant. And the atmosphere yesterday, the songs, the banter was just fantastic.
Everywhere
brilliant. Whoever made that one up, fantastic. I can't claim that one. It was fantastic. But, singing between ourselves in empty stadiums at the moment, it's a fantastic feeling. Listen, we backed it up with a brilliant performance. It was just a pleasure to. I'm not going to lie, I think I'm like it most games. I was nervous before the game, thinking if we might slip up here and whatever. And Liverpool won convincingly. never in doubt. You know, it was just a comfortable afternoon, really, really enjoyable performance. Loved the way we played. And funny enough, talking to Kevin about it today, like, you know, and he come out with a great point. He said, "Oh, I'd love to be taking on Manchester City next week." You know what I mean? And I echo that, like, you know, it'd be great if we could take them on next week because I fancy us because we're in such good form. But what's been really, really good about me is that the players that, you know, we was not worried about, but, you know, if we're missing Jesus, we're missing, you know, the left back and that, you know, Kiwior and Trossard have just stepped up fantastically well, like, you know, and from this moment now, I'm saying that if Jesus, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko are fully fit, they're not getting in as far as I'm concerned, and I think that's just been fantastic. I thought like the work rate of the team yesterday, guys. I don't know if it come across on the TV. I'm pretty sure it would have done. Even at 4-5-0 was unbelievable. I was watching Martinelli and Martin Odegaard. I'm thinking, you got a game Wednesday in Porto, like, and they're sprinting back, trying to keep a clean sheet, making sure they weren't a clean sheet. Defenders celebrating tackles with each other like it was a goal. There's something about the team at this moment in time. And I'm also going to say this, you know what I mean? And I was talking about it on the way home and all that. We're not mentioning David Raya. No one's mentioning him. And the reason no one mentioned because he must be doing something good, like, you know. So I thought I would give him a mention because I've been his biggest critic. You know, I'm still not happy about the decision and whether it was the right or whether it was wrong. But we're not about that. We're not having that conversation no more. And because he's just doing the business, and, you know, whatever Mikel does and what he's done in Dubai, big up to him, like, because, you know, there is something slightly changed. I think with Odegaard playing very, very well, but there's something. It's enjoyable to watch the Arsenal again. I was talking to my mate Steve today, and he said, "Try and get me a ticket for Sheffield United. I've got the bug. I want to go. I can't wait." You know what I mean? Like, and that's how it is at the minute. There was a time when I was thinking, "Oh, I'm not really looking forward to go. I can't wait to Porto now. Can't wait for Newcastle." And I think that's because of the teams playing so well, and it's so enjoyable at the moment. So enjoyable.
So, yeah. Jordan, what went wrong?
Well done.
That was a good one still.
That was a good one. But I'll let you pick up Turkish because it was a good joke that I think we should acknowledge the joke from James. And let's get back to hosting duties from the host.
I'm interested.
He wants to know.
I'm interested as well because Lee said he doesn't know if the work rate showed on TV. I'm interested if it showed over radio.
Oh no, it
well.
did. Listen, from what I watched, the work rate definitely came across. I'm buzzing watching Arsenal at the moment. We're battering teams. For all the goals that we're scoring, I think it's 21 in 5 games. The thing that's exciting me the most, and call me a boring old fart, it's the clean sheets.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's the clean sheets. I would have taken a 1-0 at Burnley. The goals are fun, and the goals, I think, definitely instill a level of fear, hopefully, in opponents. But it's the clean sheets. And I want to echo what Lee said about David Raya. But where I slightly disagree is that we're not talking about David Raya because he's handling business. I think that's more to do with the fact that the back four and Declan Rice, you can't get to him. The attacks can't even get shots at him. But what I think David Raya is doing really well is what we were told when he first joined. His kicking in the last 2 or 3 games has been so good. It's been this is what we were told. This is the reason why we're told he was coming in. His distribution in the last 2 or 3 games I've been watching has definitely improved. But the clean sheets definitely are turning me on. That's what's really exciting me. Because as I said before, I think that's going to be our best way to get.
Take this, it easy over there, Jordan.
Well, you know,
easy, please.
It's the small things.
I know it's a Sunday night, but shit.
It's the small things. The one thing I will say before I defer to James.
See, he's not negative. This is what you get.
He's not
negative, Jordan or horny Jordan. It's one or the other.
You pick. Do a poll. My final point would be that I don't think we should get lulled into a false sense of security with the goals we're scoring. I do still think in the summer we need to buy a forward. I've been hearing about, oh, we don't need a striker anymore. I do still think we need a forward for next season. And also Kiwior, as good as he's doing at the moment, again, I disagree with Lee a little bit. If Tomiyasu's fit, I think he goes back into left back. I think he goes back to left back. But other than that, the boys are doing the business. Odegaard is just a man possessed right now. I watched the stream with you guys. I was at work on Saturday during the game, and I watched your stream. Great show, by the way, great show. Awesome. It was really, really great chat from you guys, hosting duties, and it was good to kind of get the sense of the game via you guys watching it. So no negatives from me this week. On to the next.
Yeah, I would have got. No, there's no but. It doesn't.
There was one but. Sorry, there is one but. There is one but. There's one but. Sorry, it was Havertz.
Oh.
Or the Bukayo one. We can come to the Saka debate in a bit if you want, but it was more Havertz. And there's got to be one negative for me. You know me. The goal that he scored, I thought was a good goal, but it's awful defending.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really bad defending. And I think whilst I don't want to be the negative guy that doesn't give Kai Havertz his flowers for a goal, on the stream, you guys were hamming it up a little bit more than I think you should have, because I watched it after. I was thinking to myself, it wasn't that good, and there was bad defending there. So there still, for me, seems to be a slight element of we're trying to will Havertz on to be a player that I still don't think he is yet. Again, he wasn't poor and he contributed, but I still think there's this element of boosting up his ratings a little bit more than they should be. I didn't see the whole game. I saw the highlights on Match of the Day and on Sky, but I think the Havertz willing is a little bit stronger than I think it should be. But that's as bad as it gets for me.
I've been trying really hard to figure out how to explain why I think Havertz has been better in recent weeks than he had been most of the season. And I think I've settled on a sentence that might not make sense, but it felt earlier in the season like Arsenal was struggling to click into gear, and Havertz was a big reason as to why that was. Now, even if his performances are better, in my opinion, but even if they're not like 7, 8, 9 out of 10 performances, he's playing at a level that feels very in tune with the team. Like, it doesn't feel like the team is hampered at all by Havertz. In fact, you look at a lot of the goals and moments, he's right there. He's right in the thick of it. Not doing anything overly complex, but he's a part of it. And I think for the first time in these last 3 games, Liverpool at home and then the last 2 away from home, I really felt like he's been a part of it. Like, whether it's tactically, whether it's whatever it is, he's not doing... I still kind of agree with those who are a bit more pessimistic about Havertz. I still don't think he's pulling up trees and doing anything amazing, but I do think that tactically there's something that is much more in sync between him and the team. I don't know if anyone else feels that, but yeah, it feels he's part of it in some way.
I thought he was brilliant yesterday. I'm going to say it now.
So can I just say, I thought he was good. I thought he was 7 out of 10. I'd have given him. What made you think he was brilliant? I'm not disagreeing. I think
he does things that probably people don't appreciate at times, like, you know, and I'll say it like the first goal, closed down by 2 players. If he has 2 touches there, loses the momentum. 1 touch into Rice out to a Martinelli goal. You know, a couple of times, you know, he's not on the assist, but he's on the pre-assist. You know what I mean? Like shall I say the Ozil lovers, Turkish, like love to bring them up, like, you know what I mean? Like, all those sort of things. Like
I wouldn't say that, but
the penalty, it's his pass into Trossard, like, you know. I just think that, you know, also what I like about him, I'm going to say this now. He brings in fouls at the right time and knows when to mix it up and things like that. It's when to go down, when to just give us a bit of a platform to stop. I think he's been, and yesterday's performance from midfield, I thought him and Trossard interchanging was very good. I think that may be one thing that's improved on him, because they sort of interchange a little bit. And I think sometimes you don't see the dirty work he does, James, you know. And maybe you don't see that on TV. I don't know. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. I really do.
He works really hard. I actually think Arsenal fans will all unanimously agree since he's arrived, work rate hasn't been a problem. maybe he lacks conviction in things, but he gets places. He puts like he wins headers. He puts his body in. Like he's actually, if we signed a 20 million pound defensive midfielder, you'd almost be noticing these things. I definitely think in duels and stuff he's been contributing. He breaks forward beyond the lines when we have the ball, and he's definitely linked up with Trossard better. So I'm starting to. I just think he doesn't look out of place, and he did before. He might not look to the level of others. I'm with that, but I don't think he looks out of place. And for a long time, he did. I feel like we're starting to understand him, but that doesn't necessarily mean that understanding him is getting it to a level we want. Should you go on trying to say?
I do, but I think I'm in the Turkish camp in the sense that I actually do also think what you're being paid and this transfer fee you were signed for is to some degree relevant. And whilst I don't think he's been poor, I think when you're paying a premium price for a premium player, I think if he was on half the wages and he cost 25 mil, I know people say, "Oh, why do you care about the money?" But I think it's relevant. I do think it's relevant.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't think he's not playing well. I just don't think he's giving us what I expect a 65 million, 350 a week grand player to give us. You take Havertz out the team and put Partey in, are we weaker? Whereas you take out Saka and you put Nelson in, we are weaker. I don't think he's an essential cog. Although I think it also is fair to say that he is contributing. But I don't think it's fair to kind of bash. We're not bashing him.
No, but
it's not fair to kind of critique him on a game where we won 5-0 and he wasn't poor. Let's have this chat when he actually is poor.
But also, Jordan, so just from my perspective, I'm talking about it because we keep trying to understand Havertz more. You know, he was an attacking midfielder at Leverkusen. He was a striker for Chelsea. He's more defensive midfielder for us off the ball. Like, I think we're just trying to understand him. And I think game by game, we are understanding him more. And that's not criticism. That's, I see it from a positive perspective. Like I'm seeing Arsenal perform really well. And he's not just like a passenger in that. I feel like he is contributing genuinely. And I'm happy for him.
I don't know if you froze there for me for a second, but yeah, just before he scored, I said good performance. I think the goal definitely adds something to the performance, but yeah, I think it was good enough. He done okay, but everyone knows, like Jordan said, I think wages are really very relevant to the overall conversation about him, and because I think about the bigger impact overall of the side, and maybe that brings in maybe game by game bias that I need to get my head around. But James, you're also right in that he seemed like the hindrance in the first half of the season, but now he's part of the package, if that makes sense. But at the same time, I put him closer to being a passenger at the moment than an actual essential cog. I think Jordan said similar. But listen, the goal was nice. I mean, I get what Jordan and I think Lee agreed are saying in terms of it wasn't great defending. I think the goal was nice. I think, what I want to see from Havertz is when a bit of conviction, not only in your passing, but in your movements on the ball as well. And in this, he had an opportunity to run at goal. He ran at goal. He gave a little drop of the shoulder. It was still awful defending, but he gave a little drop of the shoulder. He put it through the guy's legs, and then he finished on his weaker foot, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on his weaker foot. Yeah, because he cut it on his right. So I think it was a nice goal. Definitely the best goal he scored for us, and hopefully he can kick on in that side of things as well, because that was an important part of the upgrade we were making. Someone who can bring more of an attacking contribution, and Xhaka's contribution last season was quite good. I think it was 7-7 in goals and assists across the season. And if we're looking for an upgrade on that, then Havertz might bring that. Numbers wise, I don't think we've seen it performance wise yet. But league on.
No, I was just saying, I'm well pleased he scored, and it's a great finish and all that. But a Premier League player calling for an offside from a throw on is embarrassing.
It's shocking. It's shocking.
No, it's more than shocking. It's unbelievable. He actually stops and put his hand up.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, a Premier League professional footballer doesn't know that that's offside, or he does know it's offside, but his concentration levels are so bad, or he's been shot to pieces because of what's gone on, that he's just frazzled his brain. either way, you know what I mean? If I'm Vincent Company, I'm having a word with him about that because that is shocking. Shocking.
The only thing I've seen worse. The only thing I've seen worse this weekend was one of the Sheffield United players saying that Holgate didn't deserve a red card.
So yeah, I've seen that today. It's the worst tackle I've seen for a very long while.
That is one of the worst tackles I've ever seen.
It's a shocker, James. But at least with that, you could put it down to he's just defending his mate. He knows he's wrong, but he's just he's trying to ting. Yeah. Whereas you put your hand up for an offside on it. Come on, you're embarrassing yourself. Lee said Premier League player, any player, any player.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember when Suarez called for handball for the goalkeeper?
Oh yeah,
that was legendary. Man turned around and said, "No, handball."
Unbelievable.
But what? So sorry, where was you? Back to the game. Saka, 2 more goals for Saka. On the verge of another hat trick, but taking off. He mentioned it that he wants the hat trick, but he also mentioned that he understands. And I think James mentioned it on the stream. I've mentioned it somewhere along the lines, along the last week or so, in between both games. We all want Saka to be taken off. Usually, he's not taken off, but the last 2 weeks, on 2 goals, he's taken off. So listen, we'll have it. Go on, Jordan.
Why Turkish? Or sorry to cut you, but why do we think Arteta's doing that? Because he's not just doing it to be a prick, but why? There's a reason behind it. Why do we think he's doing that?
Maybe he is.
Listen, James said I think he is
just a freak. Honestly, he's just a freak.
we were on the watch along. We started asking, like, is he doing this spitefully, Mikel? The whole time we wanted him taken off and rested, coming off with ankle injuries, refused to take him off. And then when he's on a hat trick, we think, go get your Premier League hat trick. You're off, mate. Almost like this, like, I'm going to keep you wanting more. I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to keep you guessing. The opposite of what should happen is what's going to happen. I honestly sometimes think Mikel just wants to just fuck with all of us. And that's what he's doing.
I can imagine him saying to Saka on the way off, "I'll tell you when you're going to get your hat trick, mate. Go on, sit down. I'm in control of your hat trick."
I don't mind it. I like it.
I'm not getting onto him. I get it. I do want Saka to get a hat trick, but I do get it at the same time. But 12 goals. I mean, he's on route for, with what, 13 games left this season. He's on route for a 20-goal season.
He's cooking Turkish. That second goal, again, the defending and goalkeeping is not great, but it's a really good goal. And it's a bit of a trademark for him, because he scored a very similar goal against Everton at the Emirates, I think, last season, and Chelsea the year before the Emirates as well, where he cuts in, beats a couple of players, just hits it really hard. And Leeds away. He hits it really hard into the roof of the net. And England as well, So he's becoming a little bit of a specialist at that kind of finish, and he's cooking. He's really cooking, and I'm really glad that he's coming into his effects. I've got another question. Go on.
Just to say, what was good about that second one? He done it last week. He went low and hard down at the left, and this time he done it high up, like so. He's bringing in very, very, very. What's the word I'm looking for?
Very different variation.
Yeah, variation to his game, which is like a big. He's only 22 and he's got all these little things to his game, which is fantastic to see.
Why do we think the team are scoring more now? Because pre-Dubai, we had lots of chances, but it can't just be Arteta sending Dubai, lads, shoot more. Why do we think we've scored so many goals in 5 games, whereas before we were winning games, but we weren't killing games off? Does anyone got any kind of theories as to why?
I think it's as simple as that, as what you just said, though. As silly as it sounds, I do think in a lot of those games, bar Fulham, I'd say, how many times did we say shoot? For fuck's sake, shoot! Don't shimmy in, don't take the extra pass. We said that a lot in that period, and I think it was just a case of, I don't know, getting that confidence back, or sometimes it's not necessarily confidence. Sometimes that extra pass or that extra shimmy is overconfidence because you want to walk it into the net. But I think it was just a case of kind of taking a step back, looking at the games we've dropped points in, and saying we've pretty much smoked every team we've played, and we're dropping points. So
pre-Dubai, Odegaard doesn't shoot that. He doesn't shoot there. He doesn't shoot.
No, he's one of the prime suspects. I think in the first half of the season that we were saying that, come on, like release, and I think it was a simple word to say, believe in yourself. Sometimes I don't know if it is believe in yourself or what, but I don't think Odegaard came here as the most natural goal scorer, but I think last season he really kicked on in that, and I think it was about him understanding that is also a big part of what he's bringing to Arsenal, not just hit the creative side of things. I think Odegaard was immense yesterday, but I think that's part of it. Just shoot. Just, if you get an opportunity, just go for it. If you want to swing it into the box or, get it in early, go for it. It just seems that we're on top of things in attack again in the transition. We're very, it's no more heads down. It's confidence. It's flowing. It's fluid. A word that I use quite often in the first half of the season.
Someone said yesterday before, he said it's like it's the steak and being fed to you. That's what's done it. Good bit of rump. That's what it is. A good bit of rump steak. Like, going down.
They need to book in next month. There's another 2-week break. They need to go back.
Yeah, listen. And I'm all for them going out there, by the way. Like, if they said, like, oh, we're going off to Dubai, because if Chelsea beat Leeds, we've got a weekend off. And they're all off to Dubai. And I'll tell you what, if I am one of those players, right, I am going into the boss and saying, look, we're going back to Dubai or what? Because I wouldn't be doing it, like, So come on, treat us, Gaffer. I'm all for it. Like, get out there again, get some sun on your back, because it's been fantastic. And the response from that, by the way, Fulham, I think it was Fulham and then Liverpool, wasn't it? And then I'm thinking, oh God, and I think we all needed a break, didn't we? From it, really. It's if someone would have said to me after that Liverpool game, "Oh, don't worry, they're going to go away to Dubai. They're going to win the next 5 games. They're going to come back scoring goals for fun." Like, I wouldn't have believed. It's unbelievable what a little break, little reset can do. It's been such beneficial to us, guys. We couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah. I do think. Sorry, am I okay? I don't know.
Yeah, you're all right. Your light's on at the back there. You're fine.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, it looks like you're Hatley.
Just trying to be near you, James. Just trying to be near
you. Thank you. I've got Lee on my set. I don't know if sometimes and this is like in life, you just take a step away from something and you then come back to it. And everything just makes so much more sense. Like, I feel like Arsenal have had a little bit of that. Just, you play a lot of games, it's 2 a week, and you find yourself, you go one game, you don't take your chances, then actually 3-4 games go by. You go, even the ones we won, we should have scored more goals, Wolves, Brighton, games like that. Seville was another one. And then actually, it almost gets ingrained in you, like, we'll not take our chance. And it just almost kind of infects the team in a way. I don't know why. I don't know how to even explain that, like, more scientifically, other than it's just like a feeling. But then you take a step away and you come back to it and everything's kind of clearer. This is a fucking shit analogy. And it's awful. I'm sorry. We've just painted this living room. And a week ago, we had 8 different greens on the wall and different off-whites and whatever. And I looked at them, I was like, I don't know. I don't have a clue. Do I like this one? No, I look in this one. I don't know. And then you sleep on it. And the morning after, you're like, those are my 2 favorite. And I just don't know if sometimes, like, taking a step away from something, then coming back to it, you just get clarity. Now, when Saka's one-on with the fullback, I don't think he's overthinking it. I think, look how decisive he was with the finish at Forest and the finish against Burnley. Different finishes, one low across goal, one high to the net, like Lee said. But both times, it was touch, bang, or it was touch, set, bang. It doesn't feel like the players are overthinking it as much. And it's all coming a lot more naturally to them. And, and they're showing their talent in front of goal now.
Yeah, because we knew we wasn't that bad in front of goal. And I know we all want a striker and we all know we need a striker. But that period of form, we knew we wasn't that bad in front of goal. We was questioning why the same players that were bagging goals last season are not bagging the same amount of goals this season. Saka, Odegaard, we've spoken about. Havertz as well, got a nice goal. We've spoken about. I mean, Jordan, I don't want to.
Sorry, Jordan's looked really unimpressed the last 2 minutes, probably since my analogy.
No. I've been looking at something else. Anything
to like? I think Martinelli's picked it up in the second half of the season, but at the same time,
That's what I was going to
people are
ask.
mentioning the lack of input into the last 11 goals you scored or so. Even though
I was going to ask any concerns about him not getting involved in the goals. I mean, he's working as hard as he always does defensively, so he's not playing poorly. But is anybody slightly concerned that he's not getting involved in the goals, or does it not really matter?
I support. Listen, I'm going to start. I love Martinelli, but I support Arsenal Football Club. If we're winning 6-0, 5-0, we're scoring 21 in 5. I don't really care who's putting it in the back of the net. No player for me comes ahead of the football club. It's mainly about winning. What I will say is, I would have loved him to get in on the act. Not only because I think he needs a bit more of a bit more productivity in the final third. I've got him in my fantasy team too. But I actually like that we've scored 21 goals and we scored 11 in the last 2, and he hasn't really been much of a part of it because we know he can be. And if we're scoring goals without someone we probably would have called one of our most, maybe not potent is the wrong word, but one of our fiercest attackers in terms of the threat to the opposition. If we're scoring the amount of goals we're scoring and he's not kicked yet or he's not getting in on the act, then I think that's quite a good thing. I just hope that he does get in on the act. And when he does, last season, you remember the business end of the season, everyone else fell off and Martinelli turned up. This everyone's thinking this we've hit the right form at the right time, which we have, because we needed to hit that. But there's also going to come a point this season where we're going to need an extra push, and Martinelli might be the one to provide that. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm
saving it. He's saving it for Man City.
Created the first goal yesterday. I don't know why people. When the important one yesterday, first goal, always very important. Lovely pass to Odegaard, And I'll tell you what I noticed yesterday is that he was desperate to score yesterday. He was desperate for it, but it didn't stop him doing the work, chasing back and doing all of that sort of stuff. He could have actually just said, you know what, we're 3 or 4-0 up. I'm going to hang goal here and see if I can nick a goal. He's still done all of his work that he had to do, chasing back, running here, getting into position. There was 2 occasions when he could have shot, but he tried to put in crosses. He was still doing the right thing, guys. Even though it weren't going for him. And I think that was. I quite liked that performance yesterday because I think he could have gone the other way and gone, do you know what, I'm going to be selfish here and it's all about me. And he never did. It was more about the team, still the teamwork rate and everything like that. So I've got no problems with his performance yesterday and the goals will come for him. It just happened to be at the moment. It'd be a little bit frustrating for him that it's gone down the right in the last couple of games. But the game against Liverpool, it went all down the left, and he was the main man on that. So I've got no problem. Big game come up, Martinelli will show up. Don't worry about that.
He doesn't get much help, does he? Especially at the moment. This is not a criticism of Havertz, but clearly his role is to get into the box a lot. Kiwior isn't a supporting fullback, though I think he's been really good recently. Big up to Kiwior. So Martinelli has a lot of individual work to do. Saka has Odegaard floating around there, White inverting. It just feels like he's got a little bit more help. I don't know if that's been true all season. I feel like I might have said the opposite at times. And I also think last season, Martinelli had Zinchenko and Xhaka. I mean, he had 2 of the league's best passers and facilitative players, if that's a word, to really kind of help him. One was feeding the other, and it worked like clockwork last season. This season that's not really the case, but he's doing a lot of great stuff anyway. I think he's got an elite mentality, really elite mentality, Martinelli, and I agree with you all. I think he's going to come good in April and May again.
Before we move on to a big game, Champions League returns. Quick one on the fullbacks. I think Kiwior, second week in a row, he's stepped it up. I think he's doing a good job. Not an easy position to fill. What he's being asked to do, James and I talked about already. If you look at Gvardiol at City, and Gvardiol came in with a hell of a lot of more expectation and high praise than Kiwior. He struggled to do similar under a manager that has been doing it for years. Kiwior, big up, and Ben White again. I just want to say, listen, I'm gonna keep on saying Ben White till he gets his flowers, because I even looked at appearances since he's joined the club. 32 starts in his first season, 36 starts last year, 22 starts so far this year. He's on course for another 30 start season. And when you think about the amount of times we talk about injuries in football, injuries at Arsenal, big players missing at key times, he's someone that's been ever present for us. So I think it's good to
I
see
love
him
him.
back in form. Yeah, he's
I love
become
him.
he's become one of those
One of my
favorites.
favourite players. One of my favourite players. I just love the way I love his attitude. He's got that nasty bit in him, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't help it, guys. I like that. You know, we've been far too soft in the past, you know what I mean? But if someone's there to be kicked, he kicks them. And he kicks them hard. And if you know, and if they're laying on the floor, he's willing to have a little word with them. You know, I like all the things that he does. I remember a couple of years ago, someone was getting away from him off the ball. He tripped him over.
Yeah.
I just love all that sort of stuff. The dark arts, but in a not in a nasty, horrible way. But and I tell you what else I do like about him. I don't know if you see it at half time. If something's not going right,
he says
he'll
it.
say it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he wants things done properly. I really like him, like, you know, and for Kiwior, I think fantastic, because I tell you what, Mikel's just said to him, do you know what? Let's forget about getting forward, forgetting about doing this, just defend. Just be a defender. And he's done it fantastically well in the last couple of games. I don't know if you remember the bit with Saliba. Saliba was having a little bit of trouble with the fella up front. I can't think of his name now. He had a very good Fofana. Yes, he caused a few problems in the first half.
Yeah.
And he done Saliba. Kiwior just come along, just brushed him aside.
Him out,
Brilliant defending. And they all of them, I think, I don't know if you said Martin Odegaard was clapping him and all that, like, you know, he's getting confidence as he's going on. And I think that, and all of a sudden now, because he's got that little bit of confidence and he's defending, I think he created one of the goals when he come down the left-hand side. Those parts of his game will come. And I think they've just said, right, you just defend. And then he's starting to grow into it, like, you know, and I think, good for him. Well done.
I don't want to overdo it, because it's 5 wins, and it's. I expected to win all 5 of these games.
Yeah,
guys. While I'm very delighted with the turnaround in form, I didn't expect all these goals. I definitely did. I expected we win all 5 of these games, but I wonder if this is. It feels like there's a reigniting of some of that flame from last season, and I think of things like the Emirates atmosphere for the Liverpool game, really loud. I wasn't even there, but I've been told really loud, like really kind of, the Emirates were kind of on their feet and really kind of playing their part as the 12th man. You know, even it sounds so silly, but little things, you know, that chant from the away fans again. Remember last season, it felt like the away fans were always talked about, you know, the Saliba song, the Zinchenko song, all that. The goals were scoring, the free-flowing football. Like, these are things I associate with last season, you know, scoring bags of goals away from home, clean sheets, everyone just playing and loving life. Ben White in great form, goals galore, fans singing, Emirates being a call. Like, I don't know, if we can channel the best of last season into these last 4 months, I give us a really, really good shot. And that's not just on the pitch. That's
you asked me in my fan cam, you know, if we are a better side now, because after maybe 18, 19 games, the argument was, and very rightly so, that less points, less goals scored, more goals conceded. I think the hope was that we find some of what we had last season and put it into what we've got this season in terms of the controlling method. And it seems like it's just coming at the right time. The balance seems perfect again in terms of the attacks flowing and the defense is as solid as it ever was. So long may that continue.
The greatest thing for us yesterday was City dropped points as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was unexpected. You know, getting on there. You know, I actually, be honest, when Chelsea went 1-0 up, I'm going, don't matter. City still win 3-1.
Yeah.
You know, then when they equalised about 10 minutes ago, they still win 2-1, and
they didn't.
They didn't.
But you know that game, what was so encouraging is, I did the same thing. I said, they're 1-0 up, but, you know, City will score 3 or 4. But actually, City better in the second half for sure. City didn't deserve to win that football match from the bits I saw. Chelsea had a lot of chances. Haaland missed some big chances, to be fair. And actually, maybe in the second half, you're looking at those. Okay, City probably would have edged it. But I'm just saying, the point I'm trying to make is they conceded a lot to Chelsea. in terms of opportunities and openings and space and behind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's weird. They've been doing this all season. They've been scoring a lot of goals and they've actually been really exciting, probably more fun to watch than last season. But they definitely, I think they've won one game against the traditional Big Six this season. It's very unlike City.
I'll tell you a good point. I always get gauge this. Like Tyrese come down to see Kevin today, and obviously Tyrese played at City, and he is a City fan. And from his point of view, as a City fan, turned around and said, "I'm worried about Arsenal."
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So like that, are you? City are start, so when you get these big wins and things like that, 5 against Burnley, it might not fit but if other teams and City fans are thinking, hold on a minute, Arsenal had a good season last season, they're backing it up again. It's very interesting that the opposition that are now starting to not fear us, but take us seriously. I like that. I like that when other teams do that like that. So we must be doing something good. And Arsenal starting to worry us. I like that.
On the conversation of being deemed serious, it's a big one against Porto because we need to dispose of them as well as we've been doing in the past 5 games. We need to win this. Not necessarily just this fixture, but we need to get through to the quarterfinal stage at the very minimum, and then it's all about luck of the draw and whatnot. But Champions League football is back away. Porto, Lee, you're heading out there, right?
Yeah, I'll be going out there, and with a different mindset. I don't know if that's the right thing to say at this moment in time. I think because league games, got to win. This one, I don't think we've got to win, but obviously I like us to win, and I think that we probably will. But there's a little bit less pressure. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's over 2 leagues. I don't know if you guys feel that. I don't know whether
I just feel that with the
little bit more relaxed
momentum
going into this game.
Yeah, but I think that we use the momentum and the time we're in to get the job done in one.
Yeah.
Get the job done in one, and that that means we can rotate it. Not that we need to with the break we've got in March, but if we do,
what are you saying? It's like a 4-0 then? Is that what we're saying here? It's like a 4-0.
Go for it, because listen.
This has 2-1 defeat written all over it.
Word. No, we have to move on from those times, please.
Right, let's see if you put that in your prediction, James. Right, I might be very interested. Very interested to say,
when we went out the Europa League last season, and everyone was doing the whole bigger fish to fry stuff, and ultimately the Europa League not a priority like the Premier League, all that. I'm not trying to open that debate again, but one of the things I felt would work against us in the title race was that's all we had to think about, and a lot of people thought that was a good thing. We can just focus on the one competition. But actually, I think that becomes very mentally taxing. Yes, we're playing more football, but I think players rest and recuperate, whatever. It's mentally that it's really difficult, I imagine, to recover. Not that I have any idea what it's obviously like. And I just think the Champions League you take seriously because it's the Champions League. It's no joke competition. And I actually took the Europa League vaguely seriously. But I do think it's going to be a really good thing. In that same way I felt last season, that this is a game that's going to feel fresh to us. Okay, different competition, a different opposition, something else. I think that is good for the players. And obviously we want to go all the way because we want to win the damn thing. But I think that is going to be a good thing for us as well in this title race, not just feeling like it's all or nothing on this. If we're a really serious team, it'd be really great to compete on all fronts. And I think, everyone always wonder whether City were going to be exhausted and Liverpool, their quadruple hunt. I think all these games build momentum for them. How it impacts them in the following season is another question. But if you're talking about this one campaign, I think more games, if you're really competitive and they've got a good chance of winning them, is all momentum building.
Yeah, we need to be there, Jordan.
Yeah, I think Lee used the key word there: mindset change. We're on a really good run in the league right about now, but the Champions League, I do think requires from the team anyway a slight kind of click over in terms of how they approach it. Listen, Porto are not a team that we should be scared about, but we should be expecting to go through. But the part of the mindset change for me is that Porto are a seasoned European team. And although they are weaker than Arsenal in terms of their personnel, what they have and resources, these seasoned European teams will turn you over. And one of the things that I think Arsene Wenger really struggled with for his whole time at Arsenal, he never got to grips with navigating two-legged European ties. The amount of times we lost the tie in the first leg, he never really understood or really kind of got to grips with that. And I think that this is a chance for Mikel Arteta, who we've all said his cup record is shocking. You go out to Porto, that's really bad. I agree with Turkish. I think we should be getting to, I mean, I'd argue semis, but quarters minimum, absolute minimum quarterfinal. So, and Porto's a nice draw to have, but I just hope that they just, one thing I like about Arsenal this year as well in the Champions League is we haven't disrespected any of our opponents. We've treated all of our Champions League opponents as if, no, you're smaller than us, but we're going to respect you. We're going to deal with you properly. And I hope they maintain that with Porto. Don't get complacent. But also remember, it's two legs. And the teams that tend to win the Champions League are the ones that they know how to navigate two-legged ties rather than, we'll get in the second leg or we'll try. No, you got two chances and just manage that two-legged affair. And this shouldn't be a major problem.
Even the dead rubber who played Saliba and Gabriel.
Yeah, right. He's taking it seriously. He's taken all the teams so far seriously.
Take out what happened against Sporting on Porto. I know different clubs, same league. You know, I
think what James has said there, I'm just really thinking about that. Like, you know, is the more games you get, sometimes it's a bit like, you know, I think like
100%.
You know, like, for instance, you win a game like 5-0 and then you've got to wait another week for another game or whatever. Like, you know, now we ain't got to wait there. We've got Wednesday, you know what I mean? Buzz on to Wednesday, get a result Wednesday. Oh, we ain't got to wait for another week. It's Saturday, like, and it comes on quick, like, you know. So I think that, you know, maybe that's something to be. I remember going back when Arsene Wenger was going for the Invincible year, like we went to the bloody semi-final and he changed the team around and we ended up losing and lost momentum, then lost to Chelsea. You know what I mean? Because we always had one eye on that game against Chelsea. You know, focus just on the one game, get the job done, and move on. Like, and I'm excited for it at this moment in time. Listen, I'm a fan. I can't wait until Wednesday. I'm sure if I'm a player, you must feel like the same, surely, after what you're doing at the moment. And do you really want to train? I'd rather rest, play, and rest and play again instead of train and play. Like, I don't know. Come on, let's see if we can do it. Like, Liverpool's still going on all fronts at this moment in time. The injury might catch up on them here, I don't know. But Manchester City, as you said last season, James, they didn't fade, did they? They actually got stronger.
This is the big time now, man. This is the big time for the players. These knockout rounds in the Champions League, you know, makes world-class talent. World-class. These are the moments that these players have been building towards to get into these, you know, these stages. Essentially, we're in the April, May of the Champions League right now with this fixture because, you know, it's a very different format in the knockouts and the weeks in between. It's a time. This is a chance, the platform for the players to just step up, get a job done, put big performances under their belts for debates amongst fans about who's world class and who's not, and you know, further fuel that fire, but get the job done. In terms of, so I was going to ask, but in terms of the lineup, would anyone bring Jorginho back in here to get some of that experience, control away from home?
Yeah, I would. I don't know at the expense of.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
you got a break after this, haven't we? You got a bit of a break after.
No, Saturday.
No, Saturday. Sorry. I thought there was a gap in Premier League games this weekend.
You might have to tinker with.
In that case, maybe I would.
I think like Jorginho. My thing with Jorginho, this is what I think on this game is that not that many players have got experience of the Champions League knockout. They've got the experience of the group, but now it's knockout over 2 legs. Jorginho's fully experienced in that, and if I'm saying right, well, I'm going to leave him out for Havertz, and then I'm thinking, well, Havertz has got that experience as well. So, you know, it's either a Trossard or a Martinelli to be left out. So it's very difficult who to leave out.
It wouldn't surprise me if he put Havertz up top, Jorginho midfield, and dropped Trossard.
That wouldn't surprise me massively.
That
I'd
wouldn't
say-
surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me.
Would it surprise you guys if Jesus was in from the start? Maybe he's just been held back for this. Been really good in the Champions League.
Yeah, experience in the Champions League as well. So that's another good point.
That's a shame.
I heard he's not quite ready yet.
Okay, fine.
I would have thought
Fair
he got some minutes if he was.
I almost think Arteta, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I almost think he's confirmed that he's starting. And because if it's true that Jorginho has for quite a while now been sort of not really training properly and had injuries or whatever, why give him the minutes against Burnley when we're 4-0 up or whatever, whenever he came on, or 5-0 up when he came on? I think he was probably trying to just get some minutes into him ahead of Wednesday, where he's probably going to start him. But I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking that. Maybe he's fit again and just thought, use him. I'm not saying he's injured, Jorginho. Look, if he's played in a Premier League game, he's clean or injured. I'm just saying we were hearing like he was on the bench for West Ham, even though we'd heard he not trained all week, but he didn't bring him on against West Ham. I think this is just let's get some minutes into the legs ahead of starting him in Portugal.
Yeah,
Great point.
I get that as well.
I get that.
Let me 51 minutes in. Let me bring up the table. Everyone got a point from last predictions, but that coupled up with James's docked point for the lack of a comment of the day means that he is still on 29 points. I'm on 25, Lee's on 23, and Jordan is on 21 points. So that wraps up the prediction table for the audio listeners. Just a reminder, we are on audio platforms, people, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, all of that. So you can catch the podcast there. Sometimes it comes out there on audio platforms before it comes out on YouTube. So it doesn't happen often, but it does happen sometimes. So head over there, make sure you're following us on that platform or those platforms as well. Hit the like button on those platforms, follow, do all of that stuff. I'm not too familiar with the podcast platforms, but do what you can to support there. Do what you can to support here.
Did
James,
find out how we did in that awards?
That's on my notes here. I was going to ask that question. Did we win it?
I told everyone to vote.
I don't know.
I was going to ask that question.
We've done Harry Kane,
How
haven't
did
we?
you do?
Done a Harry Kane.
Bottled
it.
What? Where do we find that? I feel to just check right now as we record. I want to just go on. How do we find that?
You know what? No, it's not. I don't think it's out yet because I'm actually a judge on one of the categories, so I don't think it's been announced yet. So,
and the winner for best podcast in the Arsenal community, Fourever Arsenal. Look at that! Wow, who'd have thought it? Deciding vote went to Jordan, Jared, Brian. Wow.
I got your back.
Prediction time. James, what are you going for? Porto away Wednesday night?
An awkward, hard-fought 2-1 win.
2-1 win.
Something tells me we're going to need to perform in the second leg.
I'm going to go for a 3-1 win.
Surprise.
Hey.
Christmas Day comes on the 25th of December. So
much thought went into that prediction, Lee. I'll have you know, much thought went into that.
Oh dear. Well, I was going to go 2-1, but I need to get some points up, so I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0.
I'm going to be cheering them on when they're in on goal. We're 2-0 up. Whole second leg to play.
89th minute. Go on, Jordan. You've got 2-1 from James, 3-1 from myself, 2-0 from Lee.
I'm going 3-1 Arsenal as well. Sorry, Turkish.
That's all right.
Am I right thinking they're quite a resilient side?
I think they're doing okay in Portugal, third in the league, I think it was. Well, that's not okay for them, really. I think they're about 7 points off.
We've never won there
So,
in the Champions League.
No, do you remember the Fabianski disaster class? Do you remember? I think we lost there 2-1 and Fabianski had a bit of a nightmare in that first leg.
I think I remember something
Yeah,
like that.
did we win the leg? We won it convincingly at home, though, didn't we?
Yeah, 5-0, I think. Diaby.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
That was the second leg when Nasri did that slalom from the right wing in and out of. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Angle, he rifled it in.
Yeah,
That was. We got to the semi-finals that year, Man United.
Yeah. beat us home and away, didn't they?
Battered us.
Oh, I was so gutted about that home game, man. 2-0 down after 17 minutes. Or something.
No,
They
it
actually-
was over before it started.
They actually done us on the counter very,
They
very
killed
well.
us. I was there. They killed us.
Yeah, I did.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Although how would we have fared against Barca that year?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Ouch.
All the predictions are there, people. We've all gone for a win away from home. Let us know your predictions in the comments below. 55 minutes in. Surely we've hit 1,000. If we have, let's hit 2,000. Why not, people? And we're going to slowly but surely get into comments of the day. Hopefully everyone is ready, prepared. We all good?
Remember this time?
Yeah,
I just gone.
Can I kick off? Because I've
on.
got one comment, but I'll make 3 points. First of all, there were so many people that were from Kenya.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah,
I had
I feel
about
that,
three.
yeah.
various groups. So thank you very much, everyone, that let me know about the Arsenal supporters group in Kenya. All the love we got from there. Second
He
of
won't
all,
turn up, by the way. He might turn up.
I'm coming, man. I'm coming. Second of all, there were some idiots in the comments. We were talking last week about Saka being world class, and they're just some idiots that just don't understand sense. So I want to just acknowledge that first of all. But the comment I picked out was, oh God, where is it now? Where is it? Oh yeah, from Cooking Buns. And he's got here back again with my 4 favorite podcasters: Jose Sarr, Ziggy Marley, Tintin, and Dr. Evil.
Who's Dr. Evil?
That's
Obviously, I'm Tintin, so who's Dr. fucking Evil? That's what I want to know.
obviously I'm Tintin.
I was like, Jose Sarr, who the hell's that? And I was like, oh, okay.
I can't lie. I get the whole bald Dr. Evil thing, but Lee's more like Austin Powers than Dr. Evil. I can't
Yeah.
lie.
No,
true,
you're
true.
actually Jose Sarr. I can see it.
Oh, I am. Yeah, yeah. Didn't you know? Yeah, I once crept at the woodwork recently.
No, everyone watching this, pick up your phone right now and just type in Jose Sarr, how we pronounce it, Wolves goalkeeper.
Yes. There's a very big resemblance, isn't there? Like, yeah.
That was funny.
Man said, everyone go and search it up.
Just also pick up Tintin. There's a big resemblance as well. Like,
Yeah, he's got some cheek. Don't worry, man. Sunday nights forever Arsenal, Saturday beating the Spuds. Why not? I'm in goal for Wolves.
Yeah. Well played, sir. Well done, sir.
Come on, Wolves.
I've got one from John Daly. Not the first time I've come across John in the comments. A big up, John. He said, "Thank you, guys. This is the pod I look forward to the most. 4 cracking people, all from different places, different ages. But when you come together, it fits just like Lego. Arsenal won by 6, but Jordan had a negative. Classic Jordan. Turkish on the icy pollen, hearing crickets and questioning it. Lee half cut. Only downside was not seeing James's lamp. The lamp's back, John. The lamp's back.
The
Lamp's back. It's on Lee's head.
Lee just crept into the corner and just
Yeah. There was a lot of that. So my comment of the week is on the theme of Jordan and the whole nothing negative to say thing. Jordan looking a little different today. Looks like he had a tough day watching Arsenal win.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very harsh. That's from user VC9NP. I'm not going to read out every letter, but thank you very much. There was another one. It's not even that funny. He misspelled one of the words. So James and Lee, thanks for your views. Unlike Turkish, who always dwells on Havertz price, and I think he meant tag, but he wrote tug.
Yeah, I see that.
That's one for the edit button. As if it's his money. There's a lot of people who are going at this accountancy thing.
Yes, I'll put that one because I've got to pull you up on this, Turkish. Really, like, you know, Havertz 5 last week was, you know what I mean? Come on, like, you know what I mean? It was, you know, shocking from you, like, you know, absolutely shocking from you.
I'm sorry, but 5 is average. This is what I'm saying. 5 is average. 5 is average. He was average. He was about to get 5 before he scored that goal against Burnley as well.
He might have got a 6.
I like that. I did use that one, Turkish, like turning into a can. But I did quite like this one. Like we cook the liver and now we smoke the ham. I quite like that one. Very
Poetic.
Yeah, sort of the things that I quite like. So well done on that one. Like,
But what you can't say anything for Burnley now. What's their nickname?
Clarets.
Clarets. So was
Burnley judges.
Burnley
Yeah.
judges.
Don't know what it fucking means, but it works. Is that it? Did everyone get their comments in?
Everyone did. No points.
No points deducted. Well done.
Deducted. People, we're going to round off here. Hour on the dot. We are going to be back, obviously, after the Porto game. Not sure when just yet. But make sure you subscribe, put the notification bell on, show some love to the individual channels. Like I said, I'll put them all in the description below. So make sure you check it out because it's not often I do that. Love for the love, hit the like button, and we're out, people. Peace.